for joining us today. I'm Jeff with D&H Distributing, and joining me today is Mark Jacobs.
Hello, thank you for having me, Jeff.
Well, thank you for coming. Mark is an SE with Cisco, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about the 2019 Meraki Oktoberfest event that we're having today. So we're very excited to have that conversation, especially considering this is our first recorded event here at the new D&H building, which Mark has just gotten a chance to see. What do you think of it?
I absolutely love this new building. What a big difference from the old building. You guys actually skipped a couple generations. This is more a millennial feel, more open office feeling. Absolutely love this office. What a great difference.
Thank you very much. We are really excited to be doing this. So today, obviously, we want to focus on all things Meraki, as we do this every year. This year, we are going to start our focus on by talking about Meraki cameras. There's going to be a lot of great announcements and things changing with Meraki in the next couple of months, so stay tuned as well. But to get us started, let's talk about Meraki cameras. Mark, tell us a little bit about the Meraki cameras.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of popular feedback since our release. So to kind of give you the story, we released Meraki cameras at about 2016. With this very similar architecture with all the other Meraki devices, like our routers and switches and wireless access points, how they centrally manage and connect back to the dashboard. The Meraki cameras do the exact same thing. So we eliminate a lot of time in installation, a lot of time in troubleshooting by centrally managing and configuring all of our Meraki cameras through the central dashboard capabilities.
Absolutely, and we all know how complicated that surveillance systems can be.
Absolutely, it is extremely complicated. So let's talk about that real quick. So let's kind of talk about all the pieces needed to deploy a physical security environment.
Let's talk.
So you got the cameras, obviously. All the cameras have to kind of be wired back to something, so you have automatically a lot of wires.
A lot of wires.
You have to have switches to connect them, and then those switches connect back to an MVR. All right?
NVRs, yep.
Let's talk about the problems of MVRs.
Yeah, that's the first thing somebody goes for in a break-in and
Absolutely.
tries to get to. It's nice because it has all your storage and everything centralized, but if it's all centralized in one point, then yeah, you get that point and you kind of have it all.
It makes it a lot easier. What about the updates on the MVR? If you don't keep the software system updated, you're more vulnerable to attacks, just like you said, Jeff. Mm-hmm. What about the disk capabilities that you need for all this storage capabilities, right?
Yes.
You need a lot of storage. Well, all Meraki cameras connect back to our Meraki data center, and Cisco has a vast data center that we have all the storage that you may possibly ever need. So that's one big benefit of that. So with that, we eliminated a lot of the CapEx costs and a lot of the OpEx costs by eliminating a lot of the pieces of a typical physical security system.
Absolutely, and this in particular is the MV12. This MV12 is, I believe, a second generation, they would call it. Much smaller than the initial generation, which was much bigger, but it's a very nice camera. But what we really wanted to talk about today was the MV32. The MV32 is a brand new camera. It's actually a fisheye camera.
Exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting in the fact that this gives you a full 360 view from a camera that's not a pan and tilt zoom camera, because we all know what the problems are with pan tilt zoom.
A lot of big problems with pan tilt zoom, especially with mechanics, right? The mechanics kind of wear and tear after so long, and they actually just die out. So you have to replace your camera.
Yeah, especially if it's an environment with a lot of dust,
right.
Fragments in the air, those kind of things. The pan tilt zoom cameras, the mechanics in them fail from time to time. Plus, with a pan tilt zoom camera, you're only capturing video from the direction the camera is facing at that particular point in time. But you really need to see this. This is cool. So let me show you what our little MV32 friend can do here. So here we are in the Meraki dashboard. From here, we're going to go down and we're going to take a look at the cameras that we have on our Solutions Lab network. From here, you get the traditional layout information of what cameras are active, what cameras are not, have they been down at all? And it's quick and easy to come in here and see, if your camera has been up, down, or if there's been any problems with it. We're going to take a look at our Solutions Lab 360 camera. And here, when you look at the video on it, you'll kind of notice that it's kind of a little bit of a strange view because you're getting a 360 view straight down of the entire room on this camera. Again, you have all your traditional settings that you can come in here. You can change the rotation of the camera. You can put in privacy windows, quality and retention. You can go in here and up the resolution, drop the resolution. It kind of gives you a good idea of how much recording time that you're going to get with the storage on the camera. Again, you can set up zones as well within here so that you can pick out different areas that you want to see or trip off motion sensors on through the motion alerts tab here as well. Right now we have those disabled, but what I really want to show you again is just in the video itself, because all these things are relatively the same across the Meraki cameras. But here's really what you can do. So because I have this view, I can hit change view. I can go to DPZ, and here you can see I can now do a perfect 360 view of what is going on in this room from a completely different perspective than the fisheye view. So now I can come in here and I can actually zoom in and see what's going on within this location. Again, full 360, always being recorded so that you can see it in all directions, and you can get a view of everything that's happening here within the room. Of course, you can also zoom in as well.
I absolutely love this feature, Jeff, and partners absolutely love this too. It eliminates a couple things, right? So like you said before, it eliminates the PTZ. We are recording the entire space, 365 degrees of the space at all times. We're not leaving any space undetected, if you will. So if there is a motion event or if there's a space in this camera that I want to actually look further into, all I have to do is zoom in, point my mouse in that area, and actually see what's going on in that space. It's a really good feature.
Yep, and I can take screenshots, I can go back and view video that's already been in there, but the coolest part is yet to come.
I know where you're getting. Are you talking about VR, or are you going to talk about the motion search?
Oh, let's talk about VR.
All righty, go ahead.
Let's talk about VR, because this is really cool. Wait till you see this.
So these cameras, the fisheye cameras specifically, are VR capable because of this 365-degree field of view.
And here we are in VR with the Meraki camera. This is pretty cool. You can actually zoom in and out by moving back and forth with it. You can look the whole way around the room, just like you're standing in the room.
Very impressive.
How
does this feel?
Very impressive.
Do you feel like you're in the room?
It really does feel like you're in the room in a lot of ways. You can zoom in and out. You can see some of the stuff going on the screens, everything in the location as you move around. It zooms in as you walk. It really is a VR experience with a camera.
So what you're saying, because we saved all the money on not buying infrastructure, not buying the software, we're now able to buy a VR headset to pair with our cameras.
Absolutely. This is really cool.
Fantastic. I'm actually pretty jealous. I'm not seeing what he's saying.
Tell us about the motion search.
Yeah, so while he's actually showing you guys the VR, another really great feature is our motion search. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit. So if I bought a camera prior to the Meraki days and I had motion enabled, what would happen, right? So that camera would actually detect motion. It would store that recording onto our hard drives, and as an engineer, a physical surveillance engineer, I would have to go to that recording and search all the instances where that camera recorded some motion. So it's very time consuming, very time consuming. So what we did is we actually reinvented how we detect motion. So we actually implemented a feature called motion search. So because these cameras are recording the whole entire 365-degree space, we actually can pick a search area within that video stream, and it's going to actually refine all my searches for when motion hits that little section of video. So I don't have to just keep watching videos that detected the motion. It's going to pick out when that motion was detected in a very simple, easy to read search query. So that's a great feature. We have a lot of good feedback from partners on using that feature, and it eliminates a lot of time spending on viewing some of our video.
How many Meraki cameras are there?
There's 4 cameras, Jeff. So we're looking at the MV12 right now. I'm sorry, the MV32 with the fisheye camera. This is the MV12. The MV12 does not have the VR capability. Only the MV32 has that capability. But we also have the MV22 and the MV72. Every camera has advanced analytics. Every camera has the motion search capability I just referred to, but the MV32 is the only fisheye 360-degree VR capable surveillance camera.
Absolutely awesome.
So what do you think?
This
Are you hooked?
This is totally cool.
I hope you guys who are viewing the video get a chance to actually play with this. You guys will be absolutely impressed.
Absolutely. I recommend playing with it. We should have it at some of our events and stuff if you want to see it, so pop over and take a look. So, what should we talk about next?
I think we should talk about Wi-Fi 6.
Wi-Fi 6
What do you think?
is a great place to have a conversation.
Fantastic.
Wi-Fi 6 is the brand new 802.11ax, I believe it is.
That is correct.
Series that you're going to start seeing. And Meraki currently has 2 access points already available for this particular technology. We've done whole conversations on Wi-Fi 6 before, but you know, Wi-Fi 6 really is something special, not necessarily because of speed. In the past, we've all been about speed. You know, we try to talk faster so that we can say more at a single time and get more information back and forth. But what AX really is bringing to the table here, it's really bringing to the table efficiencies. Efficiencies in wireless communication. The ability to communicate simultaneously upstream and downstream with up to 8 single spatial stream devices. The ability to do what they call coloring in 2.4 gigahertz with the channels so that you can reuse some of these channels easier. The capabilities of course, you know, there's the new OFDM piece, which does make it go faster, so we get that. But these are really designed about efficiency.
Absolutely. What about the battery savings on mobile devices?
Oh, that is huge. A lot of people are really excited about this in that now your mobile devices have to spend less time communicating or sending out those beacons that keep it kind of alive.
Exactly, exactly. That's a big feature, right? We all use our mobile devices every day. We're on it multiple hours a day. And I know for myself, my battery doesn't last more than half a day. So with Wi-Fi 6, it's going to be a big feature for me as far as battery savings.
They're very excited about this. And you know, 2.4, you know, that everybody kind of thought was just, you know, there, has had such a resurgence with IoT devices. You know, it doesn't move as much data, but it goes a little further than traditional. So if you have things that don't need a lot of bandwidth, but, you know, need solid communication, 2.4 is resurged, and AX has actually made 2.4 better and easier to use. So this is the first time 2.4 has had improvement.
2.4 is coming back in a big way. Honestly, it is, with the help of Meraki. So let's talk about the Meraki APs that are Wi-Fi 6 capable.
Yes.
So as you guys are aware, we have a lot of Meraki APs, but the 2 specific APs we're going to talk about today are the MR55 and the MR45. The MR55 is the true Wi-Fi 6 AP. You're going to get the true 5 gig of throughput. You get the 8x8 radio streams. With MR45, you'll get 2.5 gig of throughput. Kind of goes down a little bit with a 4x4 radio stream.
Absolutely. And some of those support the new technologies, the MGig capabilities for getting your faster connections between your devices. And you know, let me just ask you, Mark, do we do AX now? I mean, is it time to go out and buy AX right now, or should we just be careful about where we're putting AX?
It's a great question. I think you should do your research to see what's out there, and based on that, you'll get a good time frame on when to deploy. Because really, you'll get a lot of the features, but our devices right now don't have the AX chips. We might have one or two out there, but majority of our devices don't have the AX chips. So you should do the planning. It is coming. I want to say sooner than later. I want to say before end of the calendar year. You want to maybe start looking at deploying some of these Wi-Fi 6 APs, because even though the devices are not out yet, you'll still have all the advantageous capabilities that we have, like the efficient radio streams and data transfer and the battery savings. So there's a lot of benefits coming out with Wi-Fi 6 besides just the speeds.
Absolutely, and it's going to do a lot for density environments, stadiums, auditoriums, large-scale classrooms where you have a lot of devices in a single area. AX is going to be huge for that.
Big, dense environments.
Huge. And
Absolutely.
Again, those smaller devices that are very, very dependent on the battery, medical facilities that have a lot of IoT-type devices, tracking, RFIDs and things, those are all going to benefit from the battery savings that that the Wi-Fi 6 technology is going to bring to you. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. We're excited.
Look at it, and those devices should be coming out and starting to hit mainstream probably in the next year or two. So, again, I agree with Mark. Take a look at where it's going and what you're doing. Stick with AC where you need it to be solid, but if you have environments that are going to be capacity and it's new, it's open, you really want to put yourself into that arena, go with AX. Just, you will probably see the benefits slowly roll out over the next year.
One thing you did mention that I kind of want to speak to a little bit more is multi-gig.
Multi-gig.
Yeah, multi-gig is a great feature, and it's a pretty new feature. I want to say we're about 2 years in multi-gig. But one thing that Jeff did mention a little bit was about multi-gig. So our APs that we talked about today are all multi-gig capable. Since we're doing all these high speeds at the AP, we need to be able to have a switch that can handle these speeds. So majority of switches are 1 gig. Now you might have the 10 gig uplinks. But what a multi-gig switch is if you buy a Meraki multi-gig switch, it will auto-negotiate that port from 1 gig, 2.5 gig to 5 gig, all on the same Cat6 cable that you guys have today. So no recabling necessary. You're still getting the high speeds on the same cable. You need a multi-gig switch to be able to do this for your APs.
Yes, and today multi-gig has been kind of a nice-to-have type thing. But with AX and moving forward, it's going to shift from a nice thing to have to something you really should have. And the reason being is if you have, traditional wireless before you had multi-reusable spatial streams, multi-user MIMO starting to happen, regardless of how fast you were talking, it was still a 1-to-1 ratio as you were passing the token around. So only one person could talk at a single time. And odds are, if it had one spatial stream, it wasn't anywhere near what the maximum capability or the throughput would be, because you always lose a little with wireless.
Great point.
But now, when you actually have 8 iPhones or 8 Samsung phones or 8 anything, all with a single spatial stream, all communicating at the same time, the reality of actually being able to go over 1 gig on a channel coming out of the AP becomes real.
Right.
Because now you have a lot of devices all moving at the top speed. And again, so MGig's been kind of I have MGig, that's cool, but going forward it's going to be, I think we really need to
take a look.
This kind
Absolutely
of
agree.
technology for Wi-Fi 6. And Wi-Fi 6 is going to bring it, not out of the gate, but in a few years, it's really going to push that over the top.
Absolutely agree. Great point.
So another thing we wanted to talk about here with Meraki is this whole MSP initiative.
Yes, MSP is a big thing right now. And I think you guys have a MSP specialty department here at DNH.
Yes, we do have a cloud group here that works specifically with MSPs, and even within our Cisco business unit, we pay extra attention to MSP-type customers. Even Cisco has started down that path as well with their new CMSP, is it?
Yes, CMSP stands for Cisco Managed Service Practice. It's actually a program for a MSP type partner. Or even if you're not an MSP today and looking to get into become an MSP, we actually have a program to help you get there. So some of the details around CMSP in the program. So it takes a registered partner and actually gives them out of the gate, once they pass the CMSP certification, 50% off. Simplified pricing, no VIP, no OIP needed. It's going to give you that 50% simplified pricing out of CCW right out of the gate once you pass CMSP.
Well, and what's the easiest product line to really get your MSP practice stood up with?
Fantastic question. That's going to be Meraki, sir.
It absolutely is. Not only is the dashboard easy to manage and give you the ability to manage all your individual networks, there is even an MSP-specific dashboard from Meraki for MSPs.
Exactly.
And not everybody gets it out of the gate.
Right.
I think you have to send in an email or request access to an MSP dashboard. And then when you get in there, you can actually control all of your sub-networks.
Absolutely.
So why don't you show us a little bit about what that looks like, Mark?
I sure will. So if you guys are looking at my screen, I actually have my screen showing what the MSP portal looks like. Before I dig deep into the MSP portal, let me tell you how to get access to the MSP portal. It's very simple, it's very easy, a little bit secretive if I might say, but all you have to do is email support@meraki.com and say, hey, I need access to the MSP portal, and they will turn on access for you guys. And as soon as you guys have access, the drop down on the left-hand side on the Meraki dashboard, you'll have the MSP portal option as you guys see here. So as soon as you click MSP portal, this is the screen that comes up. It actually shows your entire organizations that are tied to your MSP dashboard. So I have 5 networks here, I'm sorry, 5 organizations here, and this is holistically showing me at a very, very high level any problems that might be going on with my network, any license issues that are happening with my network, if I have devices that might be intermittent, down, or having problems, I can actually have a quick view and see all my organizations right out of the gate in one screen. Very easy, very simplified view of our MSP portal. What do you think so far?
Oh yes, I'm very much liking it.
You like this?
There's an option there for tickets. Does this have an integrated ticketing system?
Fantastic question. I love that question. Yes, we do have an integration to ticketing systems. So as you know, Meraki dashboard gives out different layers of security or different layers of access within the dashboard, right? Mm-hmm. So let's, for example, say I am a receptionist at a D&H, right? You guys have a lot of video surveillance here. You want to give me read-only video access, okay?
Okay.
But you don't want to give me the entire thing. So, but you can also give me a submit a ticket capability feature within my read-only access.
Okay.
So what that will actually give for me is if I'm having troubles, let's say, viewing the video cameras streams from the dashboard, I can actually hit the submit ticket option. It's going to populate a ticket in my portal. You'll get a notification email saying, hey, this is the person that submitted the ticket. This is a quick summary of the problem that she's having. Mm-hmm. And you can actually use that to troubleshoot any problems that she might have.
That's really cool. So an organization would be a company.
Yes.
Like organization ABC would be company ABC. And then if they had multiple locations, that's where you would break down the network, correct?
Exactly. So for example, I'm MSP partner A, and I manage 10 networks.
Okay.
My view of the MSP portal would be all those 10 networks.
All those 10 companies.
In a very simple, in this view here. So it's very easy, very simplified view of all your MSP networks that you are currently managing.
Great. What kind of other information can I get?
Yeah, so another great feature is network tags. So something that we didn't talk about in this session specifically, but something that we definitely need to talk about more is the contextual search feature in the dashboard. So as you see, every screen that I've probably shown you had a search feature, but I can actually do contextual search to find the information I'm looking for. For instance, I can say what devices went down last Friday. I can put last Friday here, and it's going to actually populate any devices that actually had that problem last Friday in a very simplified way. Network tags are pretty popular because it actually helps me find the information I want more quickly.
I can imagine, especially as you start to get a lot of information in there from a lot of different companies. Is there any quick way I can see what's up, what's down, what's working, what's not? Because that's that's usually the big thing. What is and is not working?
Great question. So let's kind of go back to the MSP partner profile that we kind of mentioned before. So if I'm an MSP partner and let's say my network that I'm managing, let's call them Acme A, has multiple networks. So he has Acme A, Acme B, Acme C. Still one company, still one organization, but different networks.
Okay.
So this screen that I'm showing you guys here, this network tab, you click on this network tab, and it'll show you all the networks that are tied to that single organization.
Okay.
So for example, I have the Giro and ENT. For the most part, her networks was pretty green. You see all green here.
Only a little bit of red.
Only a little. You get a sliver of red. And that might have been her ISP, might have been down for a couple minutes or so, but it actually shows and displays back in history what may have happened. So if I'm an engineer, I can actually look at that and say, hey, I can click on the date, say this happened last week on Tuesday. Let me see the event log on just kind of
and that
see
could have been an
on.
ISP issue, that could have been a firmware upgrade, that could have been the dog kicking the surge strip out of the wall.
Exactly. You never know what these days, exactly.
You never know.
But it gives me insight, right? And it gives me insight to the problem where I can fix it so it may not happen again, right?
Excellent.
All about analytics.
All about analytics.
This is the MSP dashboard. So just a quick overview. There's no request for it online. You do have to email support@meraki.com to get access, but it's a simple, hey, I need the MSP dashboard portal accessible on my dashboard. And literally in a couple hours or so, they'll give you access.
Absolutely. And to kind of tie up all this, one of the things that we offer here at D&H, we talk about this a lot, is the brand new Driven program that we have. Driven is kind of focused on helping you start your journey. Whether you're heading towards MSP, whether you're just getting started with Meraki or Cisco, Driven is a platform that helps you come from just starting out in this world and moving up through Cisco. It helps track you through your certification paths, making sure that you get signed up for CMSP. All these different programs, including training and ways to get you more information on Meraki or whatever direction you want to go. All of this is within that platform to help you get there.
We're extremely excited about Driven, by the way, Jeff.
We are very excited about Driven and all the architecture capabilities and your ability to track things and MDF funding. So there's all kinds of exciting things in there that are going to be coming. So if you really like this stuff and you're really into it and you're moving in that MSP direction, highly suggest you ask about the new Driven program from the Cisco team here at D&H.
And I just want to add on to that because I think Driven is such an important mechanism. Cisco is not known to be very simple. We're not known to be very profitable at times, right? But this Driven program and the team at D&H will help you become more profitable, will help you become a better Cisco partner. There's certain T's and C's that we have to kind of know within Cisco to become that profitable partner.
Absolutely.
And the Driven platform, it really actually takes that partner through the journey and really teaches that partner the importance of Cisco, the differentiator of Cisco, but not only the most important thing is to become a profitable Cisco partner.
Absolutely, and ultimately that's what we're all after. So thank you very much, Mark.
Well, thank you, Jeff. This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
To talk about 2019
Anytime.
Meraki Oktoberfest. Stay tuned, please, for the Q&A section at the end. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at any time at ciscosupport@dnh.com or ciscospecialist@dnh.com. Thank you again, Mark.
Thank you, Jeff.
And have a great day.